We're all here for a great reason. So, my name is Steve Ballage, and I'm fed up with data centers. It's a horrible, horrible thing, and I don't wish this on any community at all. And all over the United States, citizens are getting together.
Can't hear you.
Citizens are getting together all over the United States with the goal of stopping these data centers. So this is the start of it. We have to stop these things because they're horrible. There isn't anything good about it except for one thing. There's temporary construction jobs. That's it. Everything else is bad. Everything. With that said, I want to introduce my team. We put this together so it's Republicans and Democrats and people that just care. Thanks, folks. My name is Steve Ballage. I'm on the Will County Board. Next to me here is Sherry Williams. She's also a Will County Board member. Next to her is Mike Bonomo. He's a past trustee in Homer Township. Then we have Liz Winters right here. Liz is one of these people that figured out a lot of stuff on her own and brought it to us with emails. And then we got Brent Porfilio. He's a past road commissioner, so he knows a lot of stuff about this. He's been putting it all over social media. Social media doesn't want to share it with people. So, you know what? You're not seeing the stuff we're putting out properly. But every day I've been posting at least 3 different posts about it for the last week. And Brent's been doing the same, Liz is doing the same, Sherry's doing the same, and so is Mike. And I would bet you guys saw maybe 1 or 2 out of all these people saying no to the data center.
No.
So with that, I'm going to introduce the first person to speak, and that is, oh, I forgot to mention the other people. Carmen Morella's wife broke her arm or her hand a little while ago, so he's at the hospital. So he was the tax assessor, he is the tax assessor for Homer Township. So he would have been a very interesting one, but if we do this for the next one on the 20th, I'm sure he'll be able to be here.
I think it's on the 4th.
The 4th?
Yes.
Thank
June 4th.
you, Liz.
Yep.
And then Rachel Ventura, she's our state senator. She would be here, but she's in session, so she can't be here. But everybody got to understand, we have a mixture here of Republicans and Democrats that agree 100% on stopping this stupid thing. So the next person to speak will be Brent Porfilio.
Yay. Awesome.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Behind me.
Yes.
All right, 7 out of 10 people in America on a recent Gallup poll said they do not want data centers. 7 out of 10. Can you believe that? 70%.
Too low.
That's right. So I'm here to talk a little bit about the infrastructure problems. So you hear about the water, okay? How many gallons of water are they going to use a day? And how many do we use now in the city of Lockport?
Correct.
Try to get the answer.
Whatever you think it is, it's going to be 10 times more,
That's a good point.
if not 100.
So I've been in the engineering business for 35 years. Development is something that I do all the time, every day. So based on 100 gallons per day per person, okay, if you do the math for 25,000 people right now in Lockport, that's 2.5 million gallons a day. That's what Lockport spends now. Guess how many gallons a day the medium-sized data center uses?
5 million?
3.5 million gallons a day for a medium-sized data center.
Wow.
So they're effectively more than doubling the water demand. Our shallow groundwater wells, you know, the quality of water here is not that good.
No.
It's horrible. And it has limitations. It has limitations. How long can the strain of doubling the demand every day be? How long will the groundwater be able to take that? I don't know. I haven't heard anything from the public works guys. I haven't heard anything from anybody in the city of Lockport that has an answer for that.
The
Okay?
ground along the Des Plaines is still contaminated to this day.
And
To this
listen-
day. They say cleanup, after the fact. Who's going to clean up the debacle?
And let's talk about contamination.
Yes.
The water treatment plant in Lockport does not have the means to filter out the toxic heavy metal waste that comes out of these things. So guess what's going to have to happen? You're going to have to make improvements to the water treatment plant to handle that. Who's going to pay for that?
The taxpayers.
The taxpayers, right? Electricity, let's talk about energy demand. Right now, a medium-sized data center gobbles up the equivalent of 30,000 residents per day. So that's more than double what we have now. So what's going to happen to our utility bills?
Sky high.
So they got to improve the infrastructure to take a strain like that. And also with the basis of supply and demand, guess what happens?
They're going to get the supply.
When the demand goes up, guess who pays more money? We do every single day, right? So let's talk about regulatory agencies. There are none in Illinois. There's no regulatory agencies in Illinois. So who's watching the hen house? Who's watching their water consumption? Who's watching their energy demand? Who's watching upgrades for when they expand this thing? Because you know that's going to happen.
No.
And that's right.
No one that counts.
And with technology these days, when they improve the semiconductors and everything that's taking in all the terabytes of information every day, that's going to generate more heat. And guess what? You need more water to cool it. Okay? Something else about the water. If they're using evaporative cooling, 80% of the water they take in is not put back in the groundwater. That's right. It's somewhere else but where it should be. So those are just a few numbers of the infrastructure problems that we would have. Let's talk about noise for a second. So the average medium-sized data center generates 90 decibels within a half a mile. 90.
Within a half mile.
As a comparison, a highway generates 80 decibels. So you're basically living right off of a highway, and it's a constant hum, and it's 24/7, and it's 365 days a year, right? You can't escape from it.
Nobody wants.
And someone was telling me before, it's negatively affecting brain growth in kids. It has negative effects on animals. I think they said there's a 30% reduction in pigs on farms that have had them.
Absolutely.
But we can keep going on and on. I don't have all night to talk. But the biggest thing is there's no regulatory agencies in Illinois. So that tells me that there's nobody watching what they're doing. And if they increase demand to use more water and more energy, who's going to step in and say, hey, you're capped off. You can't use anymore.
Nobody.
But nobody's saying that, right?
Someone's getting paid.
Who's paying for upgrades? Is there something that's written down that they're going to pay for it? Right? So, the thing I'm going to wrap it up with is Lockport bought the property in 2021, okay? Over 100 acres. Who paid for the property? The city of Lockport, but who paid for the property?
Us.
The taxpayers paid for the property, right? So, in my mind, instead of having the 9 knuckleheads on the city council voting for it, shouldn't we have a ballot that votes for when we sell our land? That's something that we should think about and is very important. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you.
We have somebody walking around with a petition, and if you haven't signed it, make sure you do, because you got it right there. So just ask her, you can sign it. And the next person to speak will be Sherry Williams, my counterpart on the county board.
So mine is short and sweet. Basically, this is in a residential area, and what's going to happen to property values? If you try to sell your home, because people are going to move out if this moves in, right? If you try to sell your homes, what kind of value are you going to get out of your homes? Not to mention, this is a matter of quality of life.
Yes.
We want to have a good quality of life, and this is just not going to give it to us. We don't know enough about it, but for whatever we're hearing about it is all negative. We want something positive. If they're going to bring something to Lockport, bring something positive, not something that nobody wants. So I just want to say I am here to support whatever we can do to keep this from coming. Thank you.
We have Mike Bonomo.
On the last one. They saved the best for last, I must say. So tonight our message to the developers and to local government is simple. Put the citizens first. The people who live here matter most. When we go inside for the workshop, bring your questions, bring your voice, bring your opinions, and together let's make sure Lockport remains a place where families can afford to live, raise their children, and breathe clean air. Because once our town has changed forever, there's no going back. Remember that. And the time to stand up is now. So we'll keep that in mind when we go inside. And be civil with your questions. There will be another workshop on June 4th, so just remember we're building up on this. And make sure you contact your local officials and let them know how you feel about this. And maybe you suggest bringing the Bears to Lockport. That might be a suggestion, since we're spending money. But the one thing about the only people that benefit from these data centers are the big techs, not the people that live here. The ones that are building it, I'm sure, live in their nice homes hundreds of miles away. They don't get affected by it. I live in here. I had to deal with a warehouse being built in my backyard. Hated it. Hate them. They don't do anything for the community, but you hear the trucks, you hear the noise, and they don't do anything for the community itself. The data centers don't create jobs. Short term, as Steve said, with just the construction. Outside of that, it's just a nuisance for everybody. So why have it? So let's go inside, be civil, and stand up like Lockport always does for the people. Thank you.
So I know you said to connect with your local officials, but to this gentleman's point, is the final decision with the city council whether this
Yes.
goes forward? Just
Yes.
clarity.
With this, the whole point of this is everyone needs to get a hold of their city councilman, your alderman that represents you, and really make them aware that you're fed up.
Well, I'm not fed up yet, but
Hey, you know what? As soon as they start building, it's too late to say you're fed up. It's over with.
it's not final yet.
There
So
hasn't
you
been
gotta,
a proposal yet.
everyone here has to make sure they call their alderman, or if you don't live in Lockport, call your trustee in whatever city you live in. Because one of the things that isn't really known to everybody, I just found out myself, was that we're in a grid with 5 other states. And all these other states are doing the same stupid thing with data centers. So when we have one in Joliet that we're fighting, and then we have one in Lockport, so from our little area, Joliet's and Lockport, that ain't little, but that's compared to all these states, how much juice is getting shoved for data centers?
Yeah.
And how do they expect us to live? It's kind of like when you listened on the radio or TV when somebody parked their car in the garage and the battery blew up in their car. Okay? Our climate is not made for this kind of stuff. We need to have something that we can depend on. And when you take electricity away from us, that's like killing us off in a slow manner. In Atlanta, Georgia, they're having brownouts all the time because of data centers. So I said, we have a huge problem with the water already. I'm with Illinois American Water. Anyone know how much it cost me? I have 3 people in my house, $290 a month. That was on an average. And it's going to go up. Lockport has less cost, but your water isn't as good. But the bottom line is nobody has the number of gallons we need for the data center. So they can say this is wonderful and there's no problem. It's a problem. And the pollution, if you have a well, what the hell's going to happen to your well? You know, so
These are wells.
we have a major problem, and it's going to take an army of people to stand up to the city, because the city's the only one, and they already have it on a map zone for this type of data center.
Who got paid off?
You know,
All of
one thing I want to ask, all of you who live in this area, we all pay taxes. Quick survey, who wants a data center located in Lockport? Raise your hand.
I don't want them in America.
We have one more speaker, the nicest person in the group. She's actually got more brains than all of us put together.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz Winters. I'm not an elected official, I'm just a resident of Lockport. I grew up here. My parents have lived here for 37 years. And while I went away for a while, I did move back a little over a year ago, and I was so proud to move back here. like Steve said, I've been doing a lot of research, and I wanted to see what are the arguments for a data center, right? And as Steve mentioned, really the biggest argument for a data center is job creation. But I want to address that. The Brookings Institution found that in the 4 years prior and the 4 years after, they saw about a 10% increase in construction jobs. That's not nothing, right? However, it's temporary. And we have to ask ourselves, do those temporary jobs that benefit outweigh the costs? I know my answer is no. No. But
No.
no. Exactly. But we need to be able to ask ourselves these questions. That means we need to get information. And we've been brought into this conversation too late.
Yes.
This conversation has been happening since September of 2025, at least, when a letter of intent was signed with the city council and this developer. Since September of 2025. Why are we hearing about this now?
Yes.
Yep.
And read the letter of intent.
Exactly. Read the letter of intent. Yep. So we have this workshop today, right? It's a chance for our voice to be heard, and we should take advantage of it, as everyone here has said already. But make sure you're not just using this workshop, right? Make sure you're talking to your alderperson, county board, et cetera, et cetera.
And your neighbors.
And your neighbors. Make sure your neighbors are hearing about this, because as Steve said, we aren't really getting the message out there through social media. It's not getting as far as we want it to. Our neighbors are our strongest allies in this fight. So please, please, please make sure your neighbors know about this. For the workshop today, bring your questions. Obviously, complaints make a ton of sense. We don't want this, but it's just as important to ask questions, because every question you have, it's likely your neighbor has them as well. And now's the time for information gathering so that we can build up our arsenal of facts to fight against this.
Yep.
All right.
So everybody's probably thinking to themselves, we can't make a difference, we can't make a difference, we're not that many people. Erin Brockovich, who remembers her?
Love her.
She's got a new, she's in the fight now as well with us.
Yeah.
And she's tracking people that are fighting against data centers, people that are complaining about data centers. And I think her post yesterday said there's 70 communities in the United States that have absolutely banned data centers. 70 of them.
Love it.
And,
Not enough.
and included in that are neighbors Oswego, Plainfield, and I believe Lyle. So they're close to us. So if you think we can't defeat it, think again. We got to join ourselves together. This is a bipartisan issue. Everybody is together on it. Okay? That's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
God bless everybody.